6:31, and I'm calling the meeting to order of the Select Board for October 15th. You'll notice that I'm not Veranda and I'm not Tara. They are both on Zoom, so they've asked me to chair the meeting, which I'm going to do. So, can everybody hear us now? Because we were having some audio issues before.
Yes.
Okay. Chip, oh no, sorry, rules of procedure. Chip,
Right.
please.
Vermont's Open Meeting Law 1 VSA 312H requires that the public be given an opportunity to comment on matters before the board, provided order is maintained under reasonable rules set by the chair. The Select Board welcomes public comment in two ways during our meetings. General public comment right at the start. This is your opportunity to bring matters to the board's attention. This section is limited to 10 minutes in total. Please note that this is a time for you to share your thoughts with the board. It's not a question and answer session. The board may respond, but is not required to. If your concern requires board discussion or action, we will work with you to get it on a future agenda. And then agenda item comments. We invite public input on each agenda item. Time limits will be in place, and we ask that comments stay focused on the item being discussed. So thank you for helping us maintain an open, productive meeting that serves the community.
Thank you, Chip.
You got it.
It's time for public comment and announcements, and I'm going to ask for announcements first. Does anybody have an announcement to make? Okay, so we will open the floor to comments, and I have a comment to make before opening the floor. So there was a request that we talk about the revenue shortfall, to put it on the agenda, and I just wanted to say a couple things about that. First of all, it's a revenue shortfall, not a budget shortfall. Secondly, we discussed this entire issue at the 9/22 meeting, and that discussion can be viewed on BCTV video of the meeting. Third, we have a statement reprising that discussion available on the website as a handout here at tonight's meeting. And do we have it on the Zoom chat, Erica?
There is no chat anymore for Zoom, but I can try to share it a different way.
And we're going to try to share it so people who are on Zoom can see it. In addition, the article that's a handout here is going to be published in the forthcoming Gazette issue. Fourth, the Select Board is already taking corrective actions to deal with the revenue shortfall. So I will open it up to comments.
Kelly Young has her
Sorry?
hand up. Kelly Young on Zoom has her hand up.
Kelly?
Sorry.
Kelly Young?
Yes. Where'd she go? She's gone. She's here. Unmute.
Kelly, I think you're unmuted if you want to speak. Okay. Anybody in the room? Oh, sorry, Dave.
I'll comment. I read the statement that was put out about the last meeting and the explanation, and while mistakes are unfortunate when they happen, they do happen, and I was very pleased to see how strong the board took action and the actions that they took to correct, not only to correct the mistake that was there in the spreadsheet, but to run that out to try to make sure it doesn't happen again. And very appropriate actions were taken to correct an unfortunate mistakes that do happen. So that's.
Anybody else have their hand up?
Stephen.
Steve.
Sheila, I think that
Sorry, I think we said follow protocol.
Steve Lemke, Green River Road.
Sorry, Davey.
Davey's been with her at all.
Yeah, sorry.
River Road, I live someplace. I think it was the September 8th meeting that it was discussed, not the 22nd. Did you say that?
I agree with Steve.
Okay, I stand corrected, thank you.
Just in case somebody's looking for it.
Okay, it probably says it in the document, I don't remember.
Yeah, it is.
Is it correct in the document? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Kelly has her hand up.
Kelly has your hand up now?
I'll have to unmute her.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. I want to take the opportunity to thank you for bringing this topic up and at least sort of letting the public have a express some of our concerns, and hopefully we can get this issue resolved and everyone can be happy about I realize you're not answering any questions, and you've referenced some things that maybe other people need to go and look into before they then speak again. But I just wanted to say, from my perspective, it seems like there are two points to this. And one of them is, how did this happen? And then lots of finger pointing and lots of things like that can happen. That can, but that's a whole separate thing about what needs to happen in order to resolve it. So I'm look forward to reading up on the stuff that you mentioned. And hopefully at some point in the future, there will be a larger discussion about it so we can all feel like we have a better understanding of this, and we've all felt like we've had an opportunity to contribute to the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Dolores?
Are you not going to discuss this? Is it not on the agenda tonight, or is it just in this comment period?
We talked about it in September, and it's not on the agenda for this evening.
Okay, so could I make a comment?
You may make a comment.
It's Dolores Clark, Cemetery Hill. This fella here, John, is it, was saying that it was a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes, and they indeed do make mistakes. But this is something that has been going on for 3 years. So it seems like it's more than like, I didn't carry the one. It seems like it's been something that should have been picked up 3 years ago. And we're paying auditor, we're paying a treasurer, we're paying a town administrator. We've got the budget, the finance committee. Like, how was it not found out until now? So it seems to me it's a little more than, a mistake. I'm not pointing fingers, I'm just saying it's more than just a mistake, an accounting error.
I think you'll find those answers in the document that you've got there. Are there any other comments? Because Kelly still got her hand up. No? Okay. Thank you, everybody. I want to go back to item 3, changes to the agenda order. I forgot to mention that under updates and reports, we are adding a treasurer update this evening. So, the next item of business is the approval of minutes for the regular meeting of 9/22. So I move that we approve the minutes of that meeting.
I'll
I
second.
second that.
Thank you, Veranda. Any comments? So I'm going to take a roll. Veranda,
Aye.
Tara,
Aye.
Chip,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
and I say aye. Tara, could you do the warrants for the payroll week ended and the expense warrants, please?
Yep, I move to accept the warrants as written. Payroll week 9/28/25, $8,069.86. Payroll week 10/7/25, $7,738.91. Payroll of 25, $7,900, $985.45. Expense warrant number 2607 is $368,674.10. Expense warrant number 2607A is $39,028.69. Expense warrant number 2607F is $8.50 for a total of $31,505.51.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Tara, would you want to explain some of these amazing
Yes.
charges?
Yep. So there was 3 weeks of payroll and 3 payable warrants. There was a provisional warrant for items that needed to be paid before this meeting. another warrant for $674.10, and another one that was paving, probably, and another one for fish and wildlife for $8.50. So warrant 2607A was Blue Cross Blue Shield for $10,854.04. Passive was $15,759, which is the total for quarterly. It includes the $1,870.84 for the Guilford Volunteer Fire Department, which they reimbursed. VEMR's withholding was $5,960, and then we had $1,742.66 in Vermont taxes. Warrant 2607 was Allstate's paving Guilford Center Road. That was $306,426.82. We got a reimbursable Class 2 grant for this. The remainder will be covered by Fund 016, which is the Highway Resurfacing Fund. DJ's truck repair, $1,698.22 for 3 trucks. That's a good deal. MT3, $47,310 for repair ditching on Stage Road, mandated by the state and partially reimbursed by VTrans grant in aid. This year we got $25,250 for grant and aid. The remainder will be stone lined ditching expense. Roberts Energy was $1,073.83, and the WSWMD assessment, which is quarterly, was $3,942.68.
So I'm going to ask Erica if there's, Tara, you were going in and out at some points, and I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything that we didn't hear that's really critical.
Well, the just that the stone line ditching fund that she was referencing is part of the Act 64 fund. So that's 014. Fund 014 will have the remainder of the expenditure for the work on Stage Road that the grant didn't cover this year, which will be, if you look at your project worksheet, the remainder is $22,788.
The remainder that the town owes?
Yeah, after the grant.
After the grant?
Yep.
So there's 2 grants that came in, one from the state and 2 from the stone line ditching, and then the 200 blah blah thing grant.
Yes, a paving one and a stone line ditching one.
So for the whole Stage
grants
Road
and aid.
project cost the town $22,000-ish.
The Stage Road, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
great, thank you. Did we miss anything else?
I don't think so. The one other part she cut out was she was talking about the passive bill.
Okay. Okay. Any discussion? Take a vote. I'm going to start with Mike.
Aye.
Chip.
Aye.
Miranda.
Aye.
Tara.
Aye.
And Sheila says aye. Thank you. On to updates and reports. Town Administrator. Please.
Thank you. I didn't organize myself well. Okay. Hi, everybody. I am very pleased to report that our town report has won VLCT's town report contest throughout all of the state. We were named as a finalist before town fair, and there were 9 finalists, 3 in each population category, and we came out as members' choice. Everybody voted, and people who were at town meeting and people who weren't at town meeting voted, and everybody seemed to like our town report. And there were, we were in the middle category of population. There were 3 other towns with much higher populations than us that were also finalists. So I'm very proud of our work.
I have 2 comments to that.
Uh-huh.
So one comment is that she's talking about the statewide town meeting of all the towns, all the select boards and all the other departments in town that was elected. And the second is, I think this means great kudos to the town auditors and Leslie Malin in particular for designing the report.
Yes. Okay, so it's time to start planning budget workshops. I heard that, Chip.
That was for effect. Drama.
So, I think that we should start in November, and the first and third weeks of the month are less busy since there's not a select board meeting. I will send out an email to all of you and other people that need to come, but I think that's my plan is to start the first week of November with those. And getting budgets from all the town departments. I'm gonna work with Jim and the commissions on that. And we're getting lots of social service requests still, and we have some new ones, I think, coming.
Oh.
Yep. Something that Ellie learned about when Ellie went to town fair in Burlington, but I didn't go. But Ellie reported to me that she talked to some folks from Acrisure, and they have a little bit of new information on VLCT's website about what they are offering towns. I think we went through all this before, but basically they have a charge of $450. It's $450 to do a consulting thing, and their timeline seems to end at the end of this calendar year. So if we wanted to get in on what they offer, I have.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Their
you're referring
healthcare,
to.
I'm sorry, oh, right, we talked about it earlier this year. But it wasn't very clear what they were offering.
Uh-huh.
We said, we're interested in your health insurance advisory service, and then they proposed something that didn't make much sense. It was just a different type of financial arrangement for insurance, and
That might benefit the town.
it might benefit the town, so we backed off, but now it seems like they are a little bit more clear about what they're offering as advisory services. So
For
that might be-
$450?
Yes, that's one flat fee, and then to enter into a more full-time agreement with them, it would be $500 a year plus $15 per employee
Per employee who's on insurance.
who's on insurance, yeah. So,
Do they, I'm sorry.
something that we learned, yeah.
And now they describe their benefits, the benefits to subscribing to something like this? I just don't
It's-
remember this conversation at all.
Yeah, it's complex, but I think that it's a consulting thing, and they control your health insurance.
But what's the product that they produce, I mean, as a result of?
You know, is
They're administrators.
So maybe what we could do is look at this information
Yeah.
before the next meeting and then
Yes.
discuss it as
Yeah,
opposed
that's
to taking Erica's time or our time
Ellie
now.
has
'Cause
a comment.
Ellie too. Yeah, we don't.
I was just gonna do some clarification.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Quickly, yeah.
So quickly, we went to them because there was a request on us to, especially with budgeting coming up, to look at other insurance plans.
Mm-hmm.
And what they gave to us in our initial back and forth with them didn't seem like it was gonna cut the mustard on what we wanted. So we didn't keep going with them.
And what we
Then
wanted
when
was
I went
lower
to-
insurance rates.
What we wanted was for them to be able to help us look at many insurance plans or whatever's available to us in Vermont
Mhm.
and to see which would be the best choice for us at the best cost. So when I was up at Town Fair, I went to their booth and explained just that. So when I did that, then they came back with this counter offer, which they hadn't told us before. We want to dive into that some more, because we want to be able to look at various insurance plans and figure out what's the best plan if our current is not going to be the best plan.
Okay, so we should do it in time for the budget workshops.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, moving on. Last meeting I mentioned some activity on a salvage yard on Route 5, and I have heard a little bit more feedback from the Act 250 enforcement folks and the salvage yard enforcement folks. They've looked at the site and the other site that's involved in that, but I still don't have too much actionable things to do yet from that. So I'm still working with the state on what the select board can possibly do about it.
If anything.
If anything, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I think that may be not much. I issued RFP today for winter sand, and that will be due before the November 10th select board meeting. And I keep getting updates. I continue to get updates from GMP and post them to the front page of the site, so you can check the front page of our website if you're curious what's going on with the GMP work on River Road. And Jimmy might comment about this, but I've had a lot of questions about the shoulders on the paving work on Guilford Center Road, and I talked to Fred from Allstate today, who says next Tuesday or Wednesday they'll come and complete the shoulder work. So people's driveways will be more accessible to Guilford Center Road. Okay.
Thank you.
Jimmy?
Okay. I apologize ahead. I try to be brief, but it's been some time since we saw you. Wait, you're not Miranda?
Oh, you're right, I'm not Miranda.
So.
I am here though, Jimmy.
Oh, hi. Good evening. So Erica must have just come up. The first thing I was going to do was apologize for the shouldering, so we're past that. So
Yeah.
that was brief. We did get the, and what it was the 3 days of paving that they had to do when Fred called. I'm like, we'll take it. But he couldn't promise when the shouldering, but otherwise you delay till next year, then you got to apply for an extension, and the road was coming up. So it seemed like the best thing, and I'll own that. So the yellow lines got painted, luck of the draw. We have 2 line companies we deal with, and one does all the state work, and they do yellow lines, and the other one does all the white lines. Well, so we're at a crossroads here. With the white lines, they're due next year, that we do them every other year. I called that company to do the 2 miles that we did. It's gonna be really expensive because they count on our 14 miles of paving to divide their travel costs. So if we just skip it this fall, the 2 miles that we paved, it's gonna be a lot better, and we're due next year anyway. So that would be a minor thing I guess I would wanna bring up to you all, to see if that's acceptable. For me, some towns, I went to a meeting last week, there was a lot of highway chiefs there. You know, Rockingham, some of the other smaller towns don't even do it, because ours sometimes are between 18 inches and 6 inches. And for that 2 mile stretch, to me, there's no bang for the buck. If left to me, we'll just skip it and do them all next year. But I don't know the fog lines, how important that is to, I guess I'm asking the 5
You're
of you.
asking for a motion to skip the painting.
I would be, yeah, I would be, yes.
How much money, do you have any idea what it will cost?
No, but when the guy, it's late in the year, and when the guy says it's gonna be expensive, I take that as,
I mean, I have no idea what that
yeah.
means.
But you understand why they travel here, and they're gonna do 2 miles and travel back, so they're gonna charge you the same fixed cost
Yeah,
instead of just doing 14 in one day
yeah.
and leaving town. And so I can pursue that, and the difference. So that's up to you. That's what I'm asking.
Who are the 2 companies? Who are the 2 companies? Nikon?
Yeah,
And
Ellen
Al-
K.
and did all states do the yellow lines?
No.
Who did the yellow lines?
It's I think it's A line. I'm sorry, I didn't write it down, Tara.
That's okay.
And I know if I had, But they are partnered with the state. They do all the state work. And luck of the draw, they had already painted our yellow lines, and they were going back by here. Because if you miss your turn, then again you got an expense problem. When they come through town, you have to get it done. They were coming back through for somebody else, and luck of the draw, a week after we paved, they were available.
So you recommend just waiting till they can come back?
I would wait.
Because of cost savings, how about
Yeah.
safety issues?
Well, it's a fog line. It's the white, the white lines on the side, on the size of the center road. That's between 6 and 18 inches from the edge of the road. I mean, when we plow, we use them too, but at that distance, we don't have 4 and 5 foot shoulders where we can wander. To me, it's not an issue, but I'm a frugal Vermonter, so I don't.
Me too.
So that doesn't affect your plowing, you're saying, not to have the white lines?
No, not for that stretch, and it's actually my route.
Okay.
So if I go off the road because of that, that'll be my bad. I'll own that one too.
And it is gonna be really expensive because all asphalt, all paving companies, all line stripers are so maxed out, and it's super time sensitive, and if it gets cold, you can't do it.
I do have, just because I'm a stickler, like I have, it was pointed out that there's some blind spots on the yellow lines. I don't know if you've noticed them, which means they might not have put in enough glass beads to make it reflective. So I would definitely be more cautious to hire that company again if
Interesting, Eric, because they do
we go into bidding.
Yes. And it's just being Vermont, and I actually thought that you would probably be the one that had a comment, but I didn't want to single you out. So, and I get that you're in that business, and so the yellow, we can bring that up again. We do the yellow lines every year. We do the white lines every other. So certainly before we call next spring or summer.
Well, we should get what we paid for, Jim.
Absolutely.
You're right. And I got to tell you something, on that part of it, now that they've taken all the nasty stuff out of the paint, we have to do it every year. They're literally worn off the road. By the time we get done plowing in the spring, they're literally, that used to stay there for a while, and it is a 1-year product now. It's water soluble, and it's in a bad spot, and so we can certainly work on that.
So I think this is a decision that Jimmy can make, that this doesn't need to be the
I don't
select
think
board.
so either.
But I do have a question.
Yeah.
I would like to take a straw poll. And here and online, does anybody object to not having them? Is anybody concerned?
I have a comment.
Thank you.
Steve Lemke, River Road. I mean, they're called fog lines for a reason.
Yeah.
And, that's not 2 miles of Interstate 91 that's straight as a string. That's the center road. And, I know people who can't stay on the center road on a bright sunny day, much less under fog. You can see a quarter of a mile in front of you or something else. So there's a side of me that says get the numbers and make a decision with the numbers, but to be reasonable, if it's $1 zillion, of course, but then in that case, I would suggest that maybe we could get it as soon as possible in the spring that is feasible, so that it doesn't go longer than it has to be.
Any other comments? What's our window for getting the striping done? 2 weeks?
Literally, I don't even know if they could do it, and being the size of this state, literally, I don't know half a dozen people that do it. We've used one company for, I don't know how long, because they come to this area, and I can't tell you. I can certainly research.
So our next select board meeting is a week and a half.
Okay.
So it's not 2 weeks out or something like that. So maybe you could get back to us with a strong recommendation.
Okay, I'll get the
Whether
numbers.
they can even
Give-
do it this year.
Yeah.
Whether they can even do it this
They
year.
may just say no.
Because seasonally, we're gonna run out of window.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's what I was
I mean,
asking.
after.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, you know, which, like, at least which negates to a degree the impact the fog lines would have because the window's gonna be closed. You
Yeah,
know,
nobody will come.
Nobody, yeah.
I mean, what I've seen in paving and that, they're maxed out, and if they get done what they promised to get done this year, they'd be lucky, but
Yeah, that's right.
can you guys paint? No.
Okay, let's see
Not straight
when you
lines.
come back.
Okay, no,
thank
no
you.
problem. Yep. Okay, and maybe I'll come up with somebody else if I ask around.
Yep.
I can call a few highway chiefs and see if there's anybody else.
Tara, sorry?
Barb has a question. Could she?
I'm
ask
sorry,
a
who?
question?
Oh, she's muted. I think I have to unmute her. Sorry, Barb, I'm looking for you.
Or Belchi? Belchi TV? She's up there yet.
Oh, thanks. This is the peanut gallery. Thanks, Tara. I'm just wondering, just legally, for the town's sake, if someone does drive off the road, are we okay? Like, as long as we're okay, I think this is smart. I'm just thinking down the road a little bit.
So I think we'll get that question answered by next week.
Right, and yeah, having talked to other highway chiefs, sometimes small towns don't even do it.
Okay,
They-
let's
so
find
It's
out about
not,
the
it's not a
liability.
legal requirement, but, yeah, no problem. Okay. Next, the Tyler Hill Bandrail project that we had planned on, we asked permission to go through with. They're still planning on late October, early November. Again, if that got bumped, it would be next year. It wouldn't be the end of the world. It's been a long time coming. It's still up. So it's just everybody's plate's full. They told me they still have every plan to come here and do that. Part of that price that I thought was great was me providing 2 flaggers and signs. I'm like, well, there's a savings right there. And hopefully I have the help. That's all I was going to comment on that. That's still, that would be a 2-day project. The Stage Road Stone Line ditching. I really want to thank MT3 for getting it done. Again, his plate's full too. He was on other places and kind of pulled some strings for us because it's his hometown and got it done on time. And in fact, there was a real pressure there for me. I was worrying because the grant, there's a deadline day. If it's not done, we lose our money. And that really made me nervous, but it didn't make Mike nervous. He said I would take care of my commitments, and he did. And the inspector came immediately after and commented, he would really like to use that work as an example. He'd seen a bunch around the state, and this looked great. He was taking pictures. So thanks to MD3. Another thing, new space for me, like line striping, is we're going to sell the purple truck that's been sitting down at the old garage for 2 years. It's a 1998 International, and I put a sign on it. And at first there were a few inquiries. Everybody locally has seen it and asked questions, and nobody really. And then a week ago, Friday, 2 people wanted to buy it on the same day. So that prompted me to then find out about selling town assets, which is really, it's not my truck. So I'm here to make a motion that I be allowed to do that. And my plans were for like a $2,000 minimum bid and maybe like a week, because these 2 people are probably the only 2 people that are gonna bid, because it's been sitting out there for a long time and I didn't know this process. And give them like a week to get their bid in. I probably will have them just put a check in their bid envelope, and the highest one will cash and the other one will hand back, and they can void it and move that truck along. We haven't used it in 2 years. There's a lift gate on it. There's some metal work that needs to be done, so it's no longer inspectable. We used it forever, and it's just run its course. And personally, I'd like it out of the yard. And here's my opportunity. So
you'd like a motion?
I would like a motion.
I move that we authorize Jim to sell the truck for a minimum of $2,000 to the highest bidder.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion? Mike?
No?
Aye.
Aye.
A vote, Chip?
Aye.
Tara?
Aye.
Veranda? Is Veranda there?
No, Miranda's muted. Can I unmute her from here? Yeah.
Sheila votes aye. There you are.
Okay, aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep.
Go ahead. I got one quick update on the fog lines if you want it.
Okay.
So I just ran it through, but there's a thing, because I had to do the traffic ordinance. There's a manual. It's called Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, MUTCD, and edge lines in Vermont are only required for freeways, expressways, and rural roads with a travel way of 20 feet or more in width and an average daily traffic of 6,000 vehicles per day or greater. So edge lines can be recommended for rural roads and collectors with a travel way of 20 feet or more in width and an ADT of 3,000 vehicles per day. So what does it mean for Guilford, which we have less than obviously 3,000 cars per day? It's optional based on engineering judgment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, although I think Steve had an excellent point.
I do too. I'm just saying. It's not
I would be for it too.
I'm for saving the cash.
Thank you. Thanks, Jim.
Okay. Well, and that's why we discuss these things. Here we moving along. Came back Tuesday and ran the sink, and we were out of water at the town highway garage.
Wow.
We have in other summers like washed too many trucks, and then we just don't use the water for 8 or 12 hours or a day, and the well refills. I just immediately shut it off. Apparently that we had water last Thursday. We went away for the weekend. Amazingly, it was our last however many gallons, not many. And the pressure switch and stuff was calling for water and couldn't get it. So I had line well drilling stop out and check. And it was in fact very low. It has since, in the last 24 hours, recovered some, but I think that I'm looking for a motion. It seems like I don't think we want to dig another well, but having been short in the past, I don't know if it'll rain for the next 2 months and this will never come up, but it's come up before since I've been with the town. And water's important. The initial plan, they want to look at everything, but potentially just deepening the well. So if nothing else, you get some more storage. Currently the water is at 220 feet. The well's 280, but you do have some silt and stuff down there. You can't, depending on your well quality, pull off the bottom. So I'm looking at getting a price on that. It would probably be, depending what it is, I have to bring it back up at the next meeting, I guess. That would be the best
Yes, you have
thing.
to do that. We can't act on maybe doing it.
Okay, very good point. I'm a little, long list
We'll wait.
today.
We'll wait.
Long list today, okay, we'll come back to you on that one, but that's what I'm working on. At Keatsbrook Road and Weatherhead Hollow Road, we lost a stop sign about a month ago. Strange one. People don't, Buck Hill, that's gone a couple times, but, and then 2 weeks, so Ellie noticed it, I put another one up, and 2 weeks later it was gone. So I had one more and I put it up. So if anybody sees stop signs?
Stray stop signs.
Yes, or maybe you have a couple in your basement that somebody brought home, or I don't know who would want a stop sign, but somebody has 2 of them. They could bring them back, and I won't ask any questions. And please stop. It's not only foolish, it's dangerous. You pull a stop sign at an intersection, if you're not familiar with the road, it's just not cool. I'm sure, I don't know the motivation or whatever, but just please stop.
Jeez.
It was brought up to me that we had a citizen comment on the maximum hours that we're allowed to work, the highway department, and that the select board should be looking out for us. I think everybody knows that we have, last winter was a tough winter. We were out there 3 nights a week. And I can tell you that this select board has been completely behind us. I think everybody also knows that we're a person short entering winter. That's not good for time. But we do have a plan. We do have 3 retired individuals that are willing to come in on a storm by storm basis, which is excellent. We just have to make sure that we have our ducks in order for them to be able to do that with Ellie and driving a town truck and that kind of stuff. So we're working on a plan. As far as the help situation, it's statewide. So we just come to work every day, and I can assure you that I do everything in my power. And I'll bring up last Thanksgiving because that was our earliest snowstorm that I've ever done. And I was here for quite a few hours before I called the troops in because it looked like it was going to be a long one, and it was. And all I can say is that's the best I can do.
Do you have any applicants?
No, sir.
None?
No.
If I remember correctly, it's no more than a 16-hour stretch.
It might be. I'm not sure I read that page, but.
And that's pushing the boundaries of safety, I'm sure.
Yep, and I can tell you that's not happened very many times. And the plan B for us trading out and people taking over is there isn't one. So.
Yeah.
But I can tell you it's less than a handful in the almost 8 years I've been here. But we're not going to give up and go away. We will do to the best of our ability. That will be adhered to.
Thank you.
And it's not
And
the select
safety.
board pushing us.
And
Oh,
safety.
absolutely. We pull in and take a 10-minute nap, and that gives you another couple hours. No? No.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's enough. All right. So, my last item is, this is Wednesday the 15th, our initial agreement with Tim Jones is here for GMP, and Grattan Line and Buck Adams Excavating, this combination project across the bridge. They were gonna be done ditching by the 1st of October and kind of wrapped up by the 15th of October, which is today. I can tell you, like every project, it's a big project. Great strides have been made. Are they completely done? No, but I think I'll give that the rest. And any problem that I had, I went and met with the guys on the ground that work every day there, and they have been very good at giving me what I think that our road should look like based on my experience. So I think I'll let Tim have a minute of my time.
Sure. Thank you, Jim.
Yep.
Tim Jones, Green Mountain Power. Thank you. Thank you for the town's partnership. As Jim mentioned, per our agreement, October 15th was sort of the end of days for us to be substantially done with our earthwork, which was basically trenching in our conductor, which is done. And yesterday we installed the last of the culverts that we had. I think there were 30-some culverts in total that we hit. We've started finish grading the road. I think probably tomorrow will be to the covered bridge. We're just down the road from Jelly Mill, and when we knew we were going to leak a little bit on our schedule, I did reach out to Erica. We met with Jim a number of times, and Jim's been very gracious. And as long as we met our commitment to be out of the earthwork by today, that we could get some grace to finish the finish road grading and place the material and so forth. And that's where we sit today. I know that Jim rode out with our construction manager today to point out some things that we need to address on some of the culverts that we've installed. I think, headers and footers. I did not understand that we needed to pull anything and reset anything. So at this point, as Adams is going through, cleaning out the ditches, we're going to be leaf blowing ahead of our work as well. So our finished grade will go down to spec. So I think we've just been in lockstep with Jim along the way and in constant contact. So if there's anything else that's sort of in the balance, we'll certainly be acting on that with Jim over there. And hopefully we're done and on our way out of here by the end of next week.
Okay.
Could I just add something to the Steve Lemke River Road? I just want to echo what Jim said. Everybody from GMP to Adams to the flagmen never hesitated a bit to tell us their best guess on what was going to happen. So I just hats off to all of you for a collective and individual effort that was really great for those of us who lived there. Didn't know if it was going to be closed for an hour a day. People were willing to share it, and they were always right on target.
Great, thank you. Appreciate the feedback for sure.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ellie, come up here.
Can I make just one comment on the highway and the snow? I lived in an upstate New York for 15 years where we got heavy snows, and in a rural area that would, if there was a big snow that was going to come for a long period of time, they would close the roads until the snow was over, and so that they'd only have to plow once. And if we're short of manpower and it's safety, I think that's something that should be considered. If there isn't money in the budget or there aren't people to hire, and it's the safety of our crew, I think it's something we should consider. It'd be only the big major snows that, where you're out all night long, all day long, the following day, and all night the following day. We have snows like that. We had them a lot in upstate New York.
Thank you, Dave. Ellie?
Can I sit here or?
You can come up. Maybe.
Yeah.
You got comfortable.
Hi. Okay, I will try to keep this quick. First of all, I want to thank all the staff for the past 2 weeks who have worked with Marlene and myself to make the tax payment process welcoming to folks in the office and to keep traffic moving in the office. There have been quite a few people who have come in to pay their taxes in person. And there's also been a good increase in the amount of online payments. That being said, regarding our 2025 taxes, in the past few weeks, we have collected $6,460,000, a little bit more than that actually. What we have due still for 2025 as of this afternoon is $416,914. So we're doing pretty good. I think those are some good numbers. In terms of the delinquent taxes as of the end of today, if you remember the end of June, we were around 400,000 in delinquent taxes, and as of the end of today, we're at 285,730. So it's gone down a bit, which is also great. Just wanted to report that the monthly and quarterly VMERS, VTAX, those have been completed, and the US Census on taxes has been completed, and by the end of this week, we'll have the 941 quarterlies, the federal quarterlies done, and the Department of Labor's quarterly wage report will be completed. Town fair. So Uriel and myself and Lisa Berry went to the town fair, which always is exciting to go to because you get to meet other folks who do the same thing that you do, or do much more, or, you know, it's just incredible to see how many dedicated people there are in the state of Vermont who are working for municipalities, and are really trying to serve the community. The most inspiring part for me was the keynote speaker, which was the first thing on last Wednesday. Is that last Wednesday? This Wednesday? Last Wednesday morning. Oh, it is Wednesday. I've kind of lost track of days. The speaker's name is Tammy Pfeiffer. She's the co-creator of the Dignity Index and the Chief External Affairs Officer at Unite. I'm just going to read this brief introduction to her. As tensions rise across the country, local government leaders are increasingly on the front lines of navigating political and cultural divides. In this, in this timely and inspiring keynote, Tammy Pfeiffer, former city council member, state school board member, and senior advisor to Utah's governor, is going to share how dignity can be a powerful tool to help leaders ease divisions and solve problems in our community and in our country. With insight and deep experience in both policy and community leadership, Tammy will explore how to embrace dignity in our discourse that can help build communities that are stronger, more connected, and more resilient. I copied for folks, there's some on the table here. Let me just find, she handed out these two things. Actually, it's a two-sided thing. The first side is building skills for dignified disagreement. And the little description here is thing someone's dignity can be difficult, especially when situations get heated. Following these steps when stress rises, and join the movement with others working to ease divisions, prevent violence, and problem solve by choosing dignity over contempt. So there's some things to think about when you're communicating with other folks. Being curious, not furious, regulating the debate, listen to understand, not to just respond, challenge ideas but don't attack people, acknowledge knowledge, in other words, yeah, you got that, build up rather than tear down. And on the other side of this card is called the Dignity Index. So it's 1 through 8. So for those, if you read through these statements, I found this card very interesting because we can look at it across all sections of our life. You know, when are you thinking some of these things? The bottom most, number 1 is when you catch yourself thinking, they're not even human, our moral duty to destroy them before they destroy us. And all the way up at the top is each one of us is born with inherent worth, so we need to treat everyone with dignity no matter what. So this is a scale that goes from those two opposites, where at the bottom of this near number 1 is more, the problem is contempt. And if we look at number 8, really dignity is the solution to the problem. I just wanted to share this information. I thought this woman was incredibly inspiring. And I also appreciated Governor Scott's comments afterwards, which, let me just quickly find those. So Governor Scott got up and said, even if we don't agree, we should treat each other with dignity and respect. We are here, we being everybody in the room that was at Town Fair. So we're talking all levels of municipal employees. We're here because we want to serve our community. We are role models, whether we want to be or not. We are role models. And conversations with community is so, and then he paused and waited to see what people were going to say. So again, conversations with the community is so what? And his words were valuable. Many people were going to put in challenging. But the point was, all communication is really important, you know? And I just thought both of those folks were very inspiring to the people in the room, and I thought I would share that. And that's all really I have to say.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thanks, Ellie.
Thanks, Ellie.
Okay, on to old business. So we have two items of old business. One is the traffic ordinance update, excuse me, we'll be looking for a motion to adopt the revised traffic ordinance following established legal procedure. And I think, Chip, if you would walk us through that. You've done a lot of work on that.
Yeah, did you want me to walk you through, I mean, there's,
Briefly,
okay, yeah, that's what I thought, good.
not everything.
Yeah, okay,
We can post the traffic ordinance, it's more than 10 pages, it's 17.
long.
Yeah, it's long.
And it has the
So
word
here's-
that I've never heard before until this traffic
Yeah,
ordinance.
so,
And I made everybody look it up.
Right. So I'm just going to give you an overview because what I did was there was some outdated statutory language in the 2017 version. There were some definitions that could have been clearer for public understanding, and there were some others that were missing incorporation by reference to state definitions. So now all of that is in line with Vermont statute. And I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but I'll just give you a couple of examples. But you know, for example, the 2017 talked about vehicles shall include all vehicles propelled or drawn by power, etc. That needed to be changed because the exact statutory language with 23 VSA 481 eliminates examples that become outdated, so it defines jurisdictional scope clearly. So I kind of went through all of that, and anywhere that it didn't line up, you know, for a caution sign, for example, is any sign warning vehicle operators of an additional needed precaution, and the recommended was to actually to stick with the MUTC standards was to delete it. It was a redundant definition. Caution signs were already traffic control devices, so it kind of pared it down and made it more of a plain English language overall. And I didn't really change a ton of it. I just basically changed the definitions of it, but most of it, I would say 85% of it stayed unchanged. So in terms of, and we did add 25 miles an hour on School Road, which was regularly 35 miles an hour. We had to change it to 25 miles an hour on Guilford Center just to keep it legal with the current standard. And then there was a yield sign that needed to be, that was now a stop sign that had to be changed. And then Veranda had come in with a good suggestion on Marion Road, which is now, what's it called now?
It's now called Mary.
It's now called Marion. It used to be Stone Hill.
Stony Hill.
Stony Hill. So I totally had missed that. So that's now changed. And there was another road that was named a road that's now a private drive, and I made that change. Potash with Veranda as well. But I mean, other than that, I mean. I just changed the definitions to fall in line with where we needed to be in a statute process.
So let's have a motion and then we'll open it up to discussion. You want me to do that?
Sure, yeah.
I move that we adopt the revised traffic ordinance as proposed following established legal procedure.
I'll second.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Miranda. Is there any discussion among the select board members? Everybody had a chance to review it and the changes that Chip highlighted and Erica reviewed it. Did it get reviewed by Jimmy also?
Earlier, not today.
Not this particular one.
Right.
And did Kristen review it, the legal?
Kristen
Okay.
got
She
back
had
to
put in
us
some
today.
suggestions, and Erica emailed me those,
Yeah.
Okay,
and I took those suggestions and inserted those into the document as well. So this literally is 100% up to speed.
Yeah.
okay.
And she had a very few comments, and Chip made them, and I think that was a good review from Kristen. I was expecting a big red line
Yeah, I know, it was only
document,
like
and I
a couple of
okay.
things. It was like, yeah, it's getting an A in school.
Okay, any comments, any other comments from the select board? Any comments?
I would like to say that it was amazing to see the collection. I mean, the detail involved with this. At first, I thought it was going to be boring. And then I found that the amount of just caring oversight was fascinating. And it was a very interesting lens through which to look at our town.
Thank you.
No, thanks.
Is that a hand up down there at the bottom of the screen? It's,
Usually is a person
I know,
whose
I don't know what that
hand,
is.
it just says raise hand.
Yeah, okay.
I think that Laura Lawson Tucker said that she was going to have a comment, but I don't know if she raised her hand.
Is she on? Tara?
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're not talking about the 25 mile an hour ordinance anywhere on this, right?
Yes.
Yes, correct, we're not.
It is
It's included.
It is included in this, it is one of the changes in the revision of the ordinance.
Okay, then, so we have, not at this section, but, we did have correspondence, and Tammy Sargent wrote a letter, and I think she's in the meeting, and should we have her read her letter, because I also would like to say something.
So I did ask for comments.
Okay.
Tammy, would you like to comment? Tammy's got her hand up now.
Okay. Okay, you should be unmuted, Tammy.
Okay, yeah, you said you were just allowing select board to comment at this point, so I didn't put my hand up. I don't need to read the letter. If you guys want to read it, that's fine. But my question was, with that 25 mile per hour change, maybe the ordinance, if it was just, some of the other technical things that Chip was talking about is one thing, but the 25 mile per hour thing, I know Tara said she's got a lot of stuff she wants to say about it, but there are a lot of people I've spoken with that agree with me. We did do this study whenever it was, way back when, and 25 mile per hour is just too slow for that section of road. I don't know what the reports are that you guys have from your radar signs, but it sounds like the majority of people, normal traveling people, are nowhere near the 25 mile per hour speed limit. I think that's unnecessary, and I think it would be good to maybe put a survey online, let people chime in on their thoughts on that speed limit, but that is extremely slow. So I would like to see the ordinance get adopted, but not with that 25 mile per hour change. I think that should stay 35.
Thank you, Tammy.
Yep.
Tara, you wanted to say something now?
Yeah, I do. So Tammy did write a letter, and she said that 20 years ago, there was the Guilford town collaborated with the sheriff department. They concluded that 35 miles an hour through Guilford Center was appropriate. Now, I also want to write a letter. I wrote a letter and just outlining how I feel. Like, I've driven that road my entire life. It is so much busier than it's ever been. So in response to correspondence from Tammy Sargent regarding the 25-mile-per-hour speed limit on Guilford Center Road, I respectfully disagree with her position that the limit should remain 35 miles an hour. Tammy noted that 20 years ago, the town of Guilford collaborated with the sheriff's department, which I already said, to determine speed limits based on studies of average motorist speed at that time. So saying, yeah, the average person's going 35. However, the conditions along this stretch of road have changed dramatically since then. Today, there are 2 large construction companies. They're located adjacent to each other, next to each other, and across the road. They're operating in 3 separate sites in the same area, directly beside the Broadbrook Community Center. These businesses bring constant traffic, including larger tractor-trailer trucks entering for one business, and another business that has heavy equipment leaving and returning every day requires a spotter to get in and out for safety. The Broadbrook Community Center is busier than it ever has been. The Guilford Free Library experiences high daily use, particularly from younger students who walk there from school, which now only serves to middle school. So they're all young kids, so they definitely utilize the library. Across from the library are the Historical Society. Next to the library, the Meeting House. And now we have residences that have children, family, and pets. This area sees frequent pedestrian and vehicular activity, including walkers, runners, and community members traveling between the school, the library, BBCC, and the town office. I stated, I've traveled this section of the road all my life, and I've recently driven 25 miles per hour through this section, and I found it entirely reasonable, and it made me feel safe and like I was doing something conscious and being aware. The lower limit has already slowed traffic and improved safety. Like, I've got that feedback from the businesses there. The majority of community feedback that I've heard has been positive, and it's difficult to see what harm, like that's my question, what harm a safer speed limit causes. The true harm would be maintaining a higher limit that increases the risk of injury or loss of life to a child, a pedestrian, or an animal, or a collision with construction equipment or local traffic. Additionally, I believe the 45-mile-per-hour limit, which I think it's that, heading towards Green River and Sweet Pond should also be reconsidered to 35, because this section is a wildlife corridor, regularly traversed by deer, turkey, raccoons, and fox. Recently, a beautiful fox was struck and killed in that area. I also know of 2 residents who have lost dogs right in Guilford Center. Nobody wants that. These incidents underscore the need for continued caution in the community-first approach to speed limits. In closing, I do not consider 25 miles per hour a speed trap. That was one of Tammy's issues, thinking that that was a speed trap. I think that it makes people aware. I think it makes people conscious. And if people are going 35 anyway, they're thinking about 25, and they have a quicker reaction time. I consider it a reasonable, respectful, and safety-conscious limit for our busy village center. Given the increased business presence, pedestrian traffic, and community use, the reduced speed is both appropriate and necessary for the safety and character of Guilford Center. Thank you.
Thanks, Tina. Mike.
I thank you, Tammy, for your letter. It prompted me to do some research, and one of the things I did is I went and I timed driving that stretch of road at 25 and then timed it at 35. And what I come up with is about 29-second difference. So in terms of time, we're talking 29 seconds or thereabouts, let's say. But more importantly, what I found, and I was surprised the amount of information I found out in doing this research about people lowering speed limits to 25 miles an hour. It seems to be like that's kind of a thing. And the primary reason for doing that, and this seems counterintuitive, but I believe it's true based on the research I've read, is that there's the stopping distance doubles when you go from 25 miles an hour to 35 miles an hour. And I think that's significant. That's a significant safety issue. And that's my whole reason for believing that. And the other day I was going down the road, and here comes a line of kids walking along the edge with their reflective vests on. And there isn't, where they were walking, there wasn't a lot of room. And I was saying, geez, it's really great that we're going, I'm going 25, I probably slowed down even slower than that. But it's really neat that we're taking into account what's happening on this road. So those are my comments.
Thank you, Mike. Are we ready to vote?
Can I just ask a question? Is there any future thought of like policing that, or my word just disappeared?
Law enforcement?
Yeah, to enforce, 25, 35. I know a lot of people just go like, okay, we can go 10 miles an hour faster. So if you're going if it's a 25 mile an hour, I mean, I try and stay slow anyway, but yeah, I mean, I have no problem with a 25 mile. I was just wondering, like, it seems like a lot of hoo-ha if you're not going to enforce it.
Well, I think Miranda's point was that this whole town relies on traffic observance according to conscience rather than consequence. Mm-hmm. It's a community conscience. It's taking care of our people.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think we did say in that handout that I printed that we are continuing to look at law enforcement possibilities, but at this point we don't have
no money.
Along those lines, not that I'm law enforcement, but the other day I was going 25 and somebody came and just flew past me going much faster. So I kind of got irritated about that, and I put on my flashing lights and I started flashing my high beams, and that person stopped and got out and apologized to me for it, and said they were really sorry, they shouldn't have done that. And I was taken back.
Conscience versus
I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get beat up.
Yeah.
And but it was just the opposite. So I think your point about us just being, trying to do what's the right thing, and so.
Okay.
Sheila.
Yes.
Laura Lawson Tucker has her hand.
Oh, Laura.
I
Sorry.
have to unmute her.
Last comment. It's getting late here.
Hi there. I think everything that's been said I'm in full agreement with, and I appreciate it from Tara. The only thing I want to add to it, which is very little, is that being that I spend a lot of time with young children at the library outside in the yard, is how frightening. I mean, like, actually, I get really frightened by the speed of cars going by. And I think that what this whole conversation reminds me of, which maybe you were already saying, is we really do need to take care of each other. And by lowering the speed limit, and I think people are already saying that, but it's our way to take care of each other, which means the driver in the car, who, God forbid, would hit somebody, but, anybody who might get hit, or a dog or a cat, whatever it might be. But we need to take care of each other more than ever today. So this is a way to do that, by lowering the speed limit.
Thank you. Thanks, Laura.
Hey, Sheila, can I just ask a question? What's in there about bicycles, and specifically the room that you need to allow for bicycles? Is there anything?
No.
We've done a whole pedestrian bicycle study,
Okay.
Guilford Center, and we don't have the room on the road, basically.
Isn't there a new state thing that you have to give 4 feet?
There is a state, yeah.
It's new.
I mean, living on Weatherhead Hollow is a major bike road, and the thing that scares me is, and there's barely a safe passing zone, even if the bicycles do it.
Yeah.
15, 20 miles an hour.
Same on Guilford
So I
Center.
think we can answer that
Okay.
question separately,
Okay.
Dave. It's not
Okay.
on part of the ordinance
Okay.
tonight. So if you just make a note and we can go back and refer to that, or
Yes.
put the answer to that question online, which is a practice that we used
I
to
can
do.
track that down.
Okay. It's we've had lots of discussion about it. We had a whole scoping study
Oh,
and
okay,
we
you
had
can
some
do that.
results. So it'll be pretty easy for Erica to pull that up and answer. So can we take a vote?
Yes.
Tara,
Aye.
Randa,
Aye.
Chip,
Aye.
Mike,
I,
and I say aye. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. The next item is the reserve fund transfer from fiscal year end audit. Fiscal year end audit of 2024. And we're looking for a motion to rectify the failure of a former select board to vote on adjusting journal entries and transfers after its discussion of the final fiscal year end audit. Chip, would you like to make that motion?
I will second that motion. How's that?
Oh, no, okay, I'll move. That we ratify the transfer of $189,146 from the 007 Reserve Fund to cover the fiscal year 20 and 24 revenue shortfall and any other adjusting journal entries as recommended by the professional audit of fiscal year end in September of 2024.
Yeah, I will second.
You'll second that
Yeah.
motion, thank you. And I will say that this is something that is normally done every year. A year ago, it was not done, it was an oversight, and we are now ratifying the action that was taken at the recommendation of the professional audit to transfer the money out of the 007 Reserve Fund, which is in an improved purpose for this fund to cover the revenue shortfall of $189,146. Any discussion among the select board? Any discussion from the community?
Did that just go into general shortfall, or did it go into something specific?
There's a revenue, actually maybe Ellie, there's a revenue shortfall.
Right.
There was, so they transferred it out of the reserve fund in an approved purpose for the fund to the general fund.
So that
To
was my
cover it.
question, so it's just
Just
general shortfall and nothing specific?
Oh, yeah, nothing specific. It just covers, it just balances the budget,
Fills the hole.
still, it balances the budget,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes,
As required by policy.
yes, as required by policy.
Tammy has her hand up.
Tammy?
Yeah, I was just looking for some clarification. You're saying that a select board member voted to have that moved back in September of last year?
No, I didn't, I said
Okay,
there
I'm
was,
confused on what it is you're voting on. You're saying that,
the motion is to ratify the transfer of funds that was executed according to the professional audit back in September. We are now retroactively ratifying that transfer.
okay, so the funds got transferred without the select board saying to transfer it?
That is correct.
So the select board is now going to approve the transfer that took place over a year ago?
That is correct.
Okay.
I can speak to this. I think that the conversation about the transfer happened, and there was a missing piece. The missing piece was that after the clarifying conversation, a vote was not taken. And as somebody, I wasn't the chair then, but as a chair, I can say that it's really easy after a robust conversation to forget. The robust conversation has sometimes made me feel as if, well, that's decided, and somebody would have to remind me that we haven't voted on it. Now, I'm not saying that that's what did happen then. It's just an example of what I would consider the oversight.
Thank you, Veranda. Any other comments? Steve?
Steve Lemke, River Road. I'm just wondering if once a month, every other meeting or whatever, Ellie could make a short statement that says we're at half the year of our fiscal year, 50% of our year, and we're at 82% of our revenue. Just so that there's a sort of ongoing check to say where are we in regard to the year of expenses versus what revenue is still in the bank.
So I'm going to show you that we have 10 pages of budget status report, some for the highway and some for the general fund. And the select board reviews it every meeting. And Ellie prepares it, we review it before every meeting. And we have questions and Ellie answers questions about it. So the select board is paying extra careful attention to the budget status. And for example, we are now at 31% of the year and we are roughly 25% of expenses. Overall, yeah, 03. Less than that for the highway.
But I think that simple statement is what I'm asking for.
Okay,
once
sure.
a month, so that the residents of this town sitting here will know what you know as far as nobody's going to read all of that. That's your job. But your job is to report on it. You know, I mean, the old joke that is, I can't pay out of money. I still have checks. You know, so let's not get too close to that one, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So
No,
I just want that there. It seems to me we get into all the warrants, $7,291, $6,000 for salt and the rest of it. I just want an overall once a month that shows us where we are.
Just at a high level, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have never been on a board that didn't do that.
Okay.
Can I have a question? So, or a comment? So you just, and I'd be more than happy to show you what I just gave to the select board to look at. But it sounds like it'd also be useful with this to, after probably the first meeting of the month, to have something that says, in our general account, this is how much money is here. So that it just makes more of a point in addition to the budget status report.
Right.
So, and I just started actually Chip encouraged or helped me see that, you know, I can take and say, this is I think I did on here, week 16. So 16 out of 52 weeks in a year. So we should be, because every budget status report has a percentage next to the expenses to say how much of our budget is being expensed, percentage-wise. So if we're at 31% this week, here's our budget status, and I look at the numbers and I go, oh, what's over 30%? Let's look at that, and why is it? You know, why are we over in communications? Because we pay that twice a year, and we've made the second payment, and we're not going to have any other expenses in that line item for the rest of the year, or something like that, and try to make those explanations or comments clear to the select board so they know where things stand.
So thank you. It's something that is really close to my heart, wanting to have these budget status reports. Everybody knows I always bug you about it. So.
Is that something new, those?
No.
No, budget status reports have been going on for a long time. They select board always gets those.
I'm just totally confused, and if you've been doing that right along, right? Or
Erica and I have been doing it, yes.
Yeah. So how did it get so that it was kind of like, oh boy, we're in arrears by so much money? Am I like totally confused about how this, I mean, if you've been doing that for every month or however often you do it and percentage, how is it that we, you know, 3 years have gone by and we're like, ooh, we're in arrears.
Can I just say, that's
Uh-huh.
a good question.
Yeah.
It's a very good question. There's more than just two funds. There's what gets a budget status report every time the select board meets is 003, which is the general fund, and 009, which is the highway fund. Other expenses come out of other places, but we don't necessarily do a budget status report for every fund at this point. But there's also, there's just a lot of different variables. And there's different things to look at, and I would encourage you to come and I can look at a budget status report with you if you would like, so you can get a better understanding.
Yeah, I'm just not like
Doris,
a trained
I'd like
treasurer.
to tell you that it's not 3 years. The fiscal year 24 started out in June of 23 and July of 23 and ended in June of 24. Then the audit was done from between June and August, and we got the select board then got the report in September.
Okay, 2 years?
No, it's a year. It's a year. It's September. That was October 25 last year. It was September 24 last year. We were talking about the end of fiscal year 24, and which was, the report was in September of 24. So it's a year, not 3 years, first of all. So, and yes, there's been some questions about the $189,000 for some months this year. And it was examined in close detail with the professional auditor, and we finally got an answer in August of this year. It's not that we didn't know we didn't have money, it's just like, why did it happen? And we got the answer, and you can read the answer in the paper.
Yeah, this doesn't really.
So, okay, one more quick, Steve, and then we.
I just want to point something out that, and I'm looking in the mirror when I say this, that if you take the Town of Guilford, Vermont, July 1, 2023 to June 30, 2024,
Yep.
and look on page 17, there in nice bold letters, it says Fund Balance Reserve Fund, and it goes down through the expenses, GPI, DMV, and FYE 23 adjusted journal entry per audit, $189,146.47. And everybody went, well, that's all interesting. And, here we are.
I'm sorry, was
So-
fiscal year 23 or 24?
That is actually a typo, it's fiscal year 24.
So this is incorrect in that adjusted journal entry.
The journal entry actually happened in 24.
So that journal.
That report, when the information got put in, it wasn't changed from 23 to 24. Because the reports go from year to year. It should say at the top of that beginning of that fund for
Sorry,
fiscal year 23.
This is all not on the.
Sorry.
We're moving way off topic now. So.
My point was that everybody had a chance to see it and missed it. Now everybody had a chance to see the error and the next one. So it's just, we got to tighten up the ship, that's all.
Which is
what-
this
Yeah, I
is
know,
what
I read it all.
we're
I read it
talking
all.
about.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep, so Tammy has her hand up.
I'm sorry, Tammy? One more comment?
Unmute. There you go.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'm just clarifying. I did actually notice that in last year's town report, and I did question Kathy Wilkin about it actually, and she did say it was for the 2024. But I'm still trying to understand what you're doing tonight is approving the transfer. So my question is that transfer something that the select board was unaware of? Was that transfer done by someone without the select board's knowledge of it?
I can't answer that question because I was not on the select board then, and the finance advisory committee was not operating then. I think it was, as to the best of my knowledge, it was an oversight that was not addressed specifically.
To not vote on it.
To not vote on it. The transfer was made, it was recommended, it was made, the books are, now fine.
You're right.
All the errors are corrected, but it was an oversight that was not taken care of.
And that was part of the audit report.
Yes, and it's in the audit report. So,
But what I'm saying is that's saying that basically someone has the authority to make transfers of funds without the select board knowing about it.
I think that what we could be more characterized as the transfers and the adjusting journal entries are often routine and routinely approved after the auditor's report is received and the recommendations are made by the select board. They simply were not specifically approved by the select board last year. That neither the adjusting journal entries nor the transfers. The transfers would have been made anyway because it is a pro forma approval. Just didn't happen. It was an oversight.
And now it's been approved.
Sorry?
And now it's been approved.
No, it hasn't been approved yet because we have to take a vote.
You do.
It's been acted on, but it has not been approved. So I think we are ready to take a vote. I'm going to start with Mike.
Aye.
Thank you. Chip?
Aye.
Tara?
Aye.
Miranda?
Aye.
And Sheila says aye. Moving on, we have a social service agency appropriation policy revision. The only petition that needs to be submitted by a certain, no, wait.
No.
All petitions need to be submitted by an earlier deadline
Yes.
than has been normal for the state. The social service agency appropriation policy stipulates that it has to be submitted by date certain. That date certain has changed according to state statute, so we need to approve a revision to the policy. And so I move that we update the current social service agency appropriation policy to reflect the earlier deadline of 47 days prior to the date of the annual town meeting for social service agency petitions to be filed with the town clerk.
Got it.
Second.
Mike seconds, thank you. Is there any discussion?
Can I say something?
Please, go ahead.
Thank you. The 47 days applies to all petitions, but this is the only policy that we have about that, so.
Right, thank
The
you.
47 days before a town meeting is Vermont statute for any petition regarding
It used to be
an article
40
of town.
40
It
or
was
45?
40, it was 40,
Yeah,
and
so-
now it's 47.
Please, everybody be alert that if you're gonna petition for town meeting, 47 days before the date of town meeting. So. Mike? Aye.
Aye.
Veranda?
Aye.
Tammy?
Terry.
Tara, sorry. Tara?
Aye.
Sheila says aye. The last thing is the approval, the Guilford Selectboard pay. Do we need approval of a transfer?
No, there is no transfer.
Okay, good. So there's no other business?
There's no correspondence.
Correspondence, right.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
The select board received our annual report from DV Fiber of financial activities through this past September, and a public hearing notice regarding DV Fiber's financial reports. The public hearing is November 5th, and the financial reports are available, and I will post these at the town office, and I can put them on the town's website.
I was thinking you should put it on the website because people are very concerned about how fast DV Fiber is advancing with their installations. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's not all. I got another communication for the select board from Wyndham Regional Commission. They wanted to let all select boards know about the government shutdown's impact on the National Flood Insurance Program. What this is about is the federal government's not dealing with the federal National Flood Insurance Program. So if you're trying to get new flood insurance, you're out of luck right now until the shutdown is over. This doesn't affect the town itself. This could affect individual homeowners, and it very well may affect an individual if they're trying to purchase property in a floodplain. So hopefully that's not too many people, and this may be resolved sooner rather than later. But if you have any questions, contact Steve Lumpy, our floodplain administrator.
I was just thinking about that.
Me too.
Yeah. I was thinking, okay, I was waiting, like, that sounds like a Steve Blinky.
Yes.
I will add one thing
it
too,
is.
that
Yep.
the town, the only impact that it's, well, it has a number of impacts, but the impact on the town is that all the regulations that go with the NFIP need to continue to be, observed. So if somebody calls me and says, I don't think I'm in the floodplain, or sometimes they can't say, well, don't worry about that, there's no money anyway, so all those things will continue. It's only the insurance part of it that is that is closed down as such.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
That's it.
That's a good point, actually.
Okay. So, correspondence we've done. Okay, so actions taken. We authorized Jimmy to sell the purple truck. We passed the traffic ordinance update. We passed the ratification of the fiscal year end 24 reserve fund transaction. And we passed the social service agencies appropriation policy update.
Perfect.
Actions to be taken. Jimmy's gonna get back to us on stripes, and we are going to get back to Dave on Weatherhead Hollow bicycle. I think that's it, and I think we could entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
Is there public comment? Is there public comment at the end?
Oh,
No,
Okay.
do we need public comment?
no.
I missed the chance to say, get recommendations for the insurance advisory group from other towns to see if they've worked with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't-
good
Can I ask
idea.
a question?
Yeah.
Can I?
What was handed out to the people there regarding the general
Shortfall?
the what?
The revenue shortfall?
Yeah, what was I'm looking at
Document that I emailed to everyone.
revenue shortfall in 007 reserve fund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody has that information.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
that was
Okay.
good. Yeah, it's a good document.
Did you move to adjourn?
I did.
Did anybody second?
Mike seconded it, yeah. I will start. You start.
Mike.
Aye, yeah.
Aye.
Tara.
I.
Veranda.
Oh, she's muted. Sorry, Brian.
Aye. And Sheila says aye. Thank you, everybody. Please don't leave without signing. Thank you.
There's a lot to sign.